Pathmonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathmonk to your website in seconds. Let the AI do all the work and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us out at pathmonk.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Angela Hill, CMO with Cheap Outsiders. How are you doing today, Angela?
I'm great. Thank you.
It's great to have you on today's show, Angela. And let's kick it off, right? Let's learn a little bit more about what Cheap Outsiders is. So in your own words, tell us a little bit more.
Cheap Outsiders is a strategic consulting agency comprised of over 150 chief marketing officers and chief sales officers within the United States. We act as fractional resources within growing companies who need the benefit of the experience of a chief marketing officer or a chief sales officer, but can't necessarily afford that full-time resource.
All right, great, good to hear that. So then, so that way our listeners could get a good understanding there of Cheap Outsiders. What would you say is those key problems that you guys like to solve for clients?
There's a lot of problems we solve. Some of the key problems that your listeners might find interesting are challenges the companies run into when it comes to scaling and growing. And that could be from they have a set number of marketing and sales tactics and strategies that have been working to date, but now the marketing and sales effectiveness has either plateaued or is starting to decline, and they're not sure why. Or it could be a situation where the company is scaling rapidly, doubling or tripling in size, and the infrastructure in terms of the teams and the MarTech stack and the systems and processes aren't built to scale with the company in the way that it's growing. So they need someone to come in and help with that. Another situation might be a brand transformation where you have a company that's grown to a certain point, and now the products and services that they offer and the customers that they're targeting are different from where they started, so they need to transform. And finally, it could be a situation where either a company is looking to acquire or looking to get acquired. And there's marketing and sales prep work that happens before and after M&A.
All right, perfect. And so then is there a certain vertical, is there a segment, is there an ideal ICP there for Cheap Outsiders?
Well, we work with companies of all sizes. I would say if it's a smaller company that's a startup, typically they're well-funded. If it's a mid-sized company, it could be a family business, or it could be a company that's just been brought into a portfolio with a private equity. The sizes that I feel are the sweet spot are anywhere from 5 million to about 900 million. Most of my clients, though, are usually about 5 to 200 million. And what I find in that small to mid-sized space is that they've gotten to a certain point, but they need help getting to that next level. And that's where a fractional CMO or a fractional CSO can help them bridge getting to that next level before they build out the marketing and sales infrastructure that they need internally.
All right. And so then how would somebody then usually find out about Cheap Outsiders? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
So our co-founders and some of our managing partners have written books on marketing. So there's Growth Gears that was written by Art Saxby and Pete Hayes. Those are our co-founders. And then there's Random Acts of Marketing that was written by my managing partner, Karen Hayward. And you probably have heard of Karen because she is a Vistage speaker, and she travels around the U.S. speaking regarding growth gears and random acts marketing. We also sponsor events and conferences and do speaking engagements and presentations. In addition to that, there's the traditional marketing for organic search, organic social, paid social, email marketing, blogging, PR, podcasts, videos, etc.
Okay, I like that. And that way our listeners who are tuned in could go ahead and visit you. They could always check you out at cheapoutsiders.com. What role does the website then, Angela, play for client acquisition?
It's really it's in terms of brand awareness, brand education regarding our capabilities, and it's a good legitimizer for a prospect who may have been referred to us and is doing their due diligence before reaching out to speak with someone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And well, on that note, then, Angela, is there any tools or tips that you would give to our listeners as far as on website lead generation?
For their website? Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, I always start at the beginning, taking a look at the customer, and the competition and the company. So if you clearly understand the product and service you're offering and what's your differentiation, and you've built out your customer archetypes to really think about who are the customers that I'm targeting, whether that's, direct to consumer or it's in a B2B environment, the more you understand that customer, who they are, what's their job title, what motivates them, how do they make decisions? Are they an emotional or an analytical decision maker? And then really, truly understanding your competition. There's your competition in real life, and then there's your competition online from an organic search perspective. If you can do that work to successfully differentiate your products and services and appeal to your ideal target audience, then it lays a clear path for the kind of structure and format your website needs to have, and the kind of content it needs to have, as well as the way you display and organize that content. So, for example, if you have an analytical decision maker, you're going to want to have proof points like charts and graphs and statistics and case studies and testimonials. And if you have an emotional decision maker, you're going to want to have the messaging that appeals to them, the right kind of imagery, and probably video or a whiteboard video or illustrations that make it easier for them to process the information that you want to convey.
Well, very good. Great advice there for our listeners. And well, let's switch gears a little bit here, Angela, and let's talk about you as a leader, being the CMO there for Cheap Outsiders. What are some key tasks you like to focus on your day-to-day work?
With my clients, you mean?
On your day-to-day, it could be with clients, it could be within the company. What does a day look like for you there, Angela?
So at any given time, I'm typically working with 3 to 5 clients. When I am working on a client, I like to dive deep into the brand and the strategy and the tactics, of course, and make sure that anything that I'm recommending or any research that I'm doing is directly focused on marketing that leads to profitable revenue, marketing attribution, and marketing ROI.
Okay, perfect. All right. So in your between times, how do you like to stay up to date with all the news in the marketing world as far as trends, strategies? Is there a preferred channel that you like to stay up to date with?
No, there's an overwhelming amount of marketing information out there. It's really, really difficult to stay on top of it all. Mm-hmm. I subscribe to a number of newsletters, and my typical morning routine is that I will go through my email. I'll go through all of the marketing or industry update articles that I want to view for the day. I'll select the ones that I find most interesting. I'll pop them open in a web browser, and then I'll move all of the other email newsletters into separate folders so I don't look at them anymore and they don't clog up my inbox. And then when I have time later in the day, I'll skim through the articles and see if there's anything relevant or interesting. In addition to that, chief outsiders within our organization, we have a company-wide Slack channel on a number of topics. So as we find industry reports or case studies, or even if we're experimenting with new AI software, we're constantly sharing it with what we call the tribe, which is all the people within Chief Outsiders. And so in that way, I have 150 other people that are also monitoring for trends within marketing and sales, staying up to date on technology and industry trends, and then sharing that internally with our organization.
Okay, all right, great to hear that from you for sharing that with us. And well, let's jump into our next section here then, Angela, which is our rapid fire question rounds. Are you ready for them?
Ready.
All right, perfect, awesome. First off then, Angela, is what is the last book that you read?
The last book that I read? Gosh, I don't know. I think it was Pitch Anything.
Pitch Anything. Okay, perfect. Next up then is, if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
The one thing I want to have fixed as my role? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so say, if there were to be any boundaries in technology, you being a marketer, is there something that, you would be like, oh my God, this is what I need to get fixed, that it would make my life easier?
Well, I'm always experimenting with AI to automate and streamline the audit work that I do.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. And talking about that, you just recently won an award for AI innovation, combining 4 tools together, right, to get a lot better. I don't know if you could share a little bit about that with us.
Sure. So I developed a process whereby I use a combination of Siteable Cloud AI built with and Google PageSpeed Insights to do an analysis of the organic search performance of a website, which then generates a technical report that's about 90 pages long. I use Claude AI to do an analysis of that report to pull out an executive summary. And then I use BuiltWith to provide an audit of the MarTech, of all the technology that is connected to the website. And then from there, I go into Google PageSpeed Insights and I do a PageSpeed Insight report for mobile and desktop. From that, I get 2 reports that are about anywhere from 10 to 20 pages long. And what it gives me is a very in-depth analysis of my client's website performance in terms of how is the website built, what's connected to it that's working or not working, what can we do to improve the website performance, both from a speed perspective, an optimization perspective, a caching perspective, and an organic search perspective. And then I have the information I need to share at a high level with the executive team. And I also have the incredibly technical, detailed information that I need to share either with the in-house SEO resource or the SEO agency that is working with my client.
Definitely. Okay, awesome. Great to hear that you created one of those processes and really useful, right? It's for marketers. So awesome to hear that from you. And well, talking about that, I mean, you have a lot of experience already in the marketing world. So what would be that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
One of the best things that I did early on was really developing my own methodology for branding analysis and strategy. Through that methodology, I was able to develop a series of systems and processes and also templated documents and spreadsheets for calculating the information that I need to calculate. And as a result, over time, it has streamlined my process to where the manual admin aspect of the work that I do, I have systems and tools for streamlining that. And then I can spend more of my time on the high level thinking work, which is the strategic work and the analysis of that information. And so my advice to my younger self would be develop systems and processes, find tools that enable you to spend your time where you're using your highest skill set and you're performing at your highest level so that you're not spending so much time lower down in the weeds doing administrative tasks.
Some great advice there. Thanks so much for sharing that with us, Angela. And we are coming to the end of the show here today, Angela. But before we do end, I do want to give you the last word. Say someone forgets everything about the interview today. What is that one thing they should remember about Chief Outsiders?
Regardless of where you are in your company's journey of growth, it's always nice to have what I call the third opinion. So the first opinion is your own. The second opinion could be your business partner, it could be your significant other, it could be someone within your organization. But those people each have a vested interest in the choice that you make when you're making an important decision about the growth of your company or sales or marketing. When you hire a fractional CMO or a fractional CSO, we are hired specifically to be that independent, objective third opinion that gives you a different perspective on your organization and helps you gain insight into how to make the right decisions to move forward. And because we are not benefiting emotionally or financially from the direction that you take, it is our fiduciary responsibility to act as if it was our own company and to make a recommendation that's in your best interest.
All right, perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Angela. I do want to thank you for being on with us today, and I also want to thank our listeners for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pathmonk Presents. Thanks a lot, Angela.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you.